Welcome to the Totally Honest Cooking Show. I'm Mark. Today we're doing East meets West, Chongqing-style dry-fried chicken meets Kentucky fried chicken. Saying that took 37 takes. Oh my god. In front of me again is Colonel Sanders' nephew, Joe Ledington's recipe for Kentucky fried chicken, which I did wrong last time. Yes, because some websites took this uppercase T and made it a lowercase t, and that's a sin. So yeah, I used teaspoons when I should have used tablespoons, and that's why I was like, you should have at the very least doubled the seasoning. Anyway, I took the mixture. Once you do it right, it doesn't fit in my shake jar, which is annoying. So you need 2 teaspoons salt, half a tablespoon thyme, half a tablespoon basil, 1 teaspoon oregano, 1 tablespoon celery salt, 1 tablespoon black pepper, 1 tablespoon dried mustard, 4 tablespoons, that's 1/4 cup paprika, 2 tablespoons garlic salt, 1 tablespoon ground ginger, and 3 tablespoons ground white pepper. That last one's supposed to be a highlight of the dish, but whatever. Anyway, my shake jar isn't big enough, so we're using a bigger jar. And if you watched the video from last time, bop it, pull it, shake it, whatever. So now you have your KFC powder. Put that aside. You're gonna need 2 pounds of chicken. These are chicken thighs, boneless. You can trim them if you want. I'm hungry, so I'm not going to. We're cutting these into 1/4 inch pieces. That's about the size of this joint on my thumb. I'll be right back after I've done that. This next part might come off the rails pretty quickly, so strap in. I got 4 teaspoons of soy sauce. I'm using gluten-free. I've got 4 teaspoons of dry sherry. I have to be gluten-free, and Shaoxing cooking wine is gluten-based. It's more like a beer than a wine. If you can have that, use that. Otherwise, it replaces at a ratio of 1:1. I'm going to go ahead and pour this in with 2 teaspoons of salt. Then I'm going to add 2 eggs. A quick hand rinse later, and I'm gonna whisk. This is where it might come off the rails. I'm pouring my KFC mixture into the bowl. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is that there's definitely 1 teaspoon of MSG in here. The MSG is in there to round out the flavor, and you will notice a difference if you leave it out. Anyway. We might need more liquid. We're just gonna... Yeah, we need more liquid. What we've made here is kind of a makeshift batter, almost. I'm gonna go ahead and add 2 more teaspoons of each. Now, these are both very strong, so that might have been stupid. It might have been smarter to add more egg. But let's see what happens, shall we? I'm also going to add in 3 tablespoons of potato starch. And you can make these as heaping as you want. If this doesn't work, this is the reason. Let's say 5. Now, normally this amount of herbs is added to like 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And not the Lovecraftian nightmare that I have wrought. But let's do this thing. So you put your chicken in and mix this mamma jamma up. Now you're going to let this sit for 20 minutes while you do everything else. First, mince about 12 cloves of garlic, as much as you want. If yours are going green in the middle like this, cut that part out. Usually I just cut it. Usually I just crush everything and then cut up the remnants. Also, by the way, you don't need to usually remove the green centers unless you're leaving it raw. But since we're wok tossing it, I was a little concerned that I wouldn't be cooking it thoroughly enough to avoid bitterness. Next, clean up and cut down a bunch of green onions. I'm not going to show you this part because I show you this part all the time. Once those are all cut up, you're going to add 1/4 a cup of Szechuan peppercorns. Now, you can't do this recipe without these, so make sure you have them. They're also not peppercorns, they're actually a berry. If you look real close, you can kind of see the berry nature of it. Too close, Jerkins. Pan out. Enhance. Enhance! Okay. This recipe is based on one in Kenji Lopez Alt's The Wok, which also calls for Szechuan pepper flakes, which are just the flakes ground up, so I've got my coffee grinder. In no time at all, you'll have a pepper flake. And you're just going to dump in about 1 tablespoon. Don't be nuts about measuring, though. This is the last thing we've got to do before we start cooking, right? So I've got 4 tablespoons or 1/4 a cup of toasted sesame seeds. You can buy bulk and toast your own, or you can just buy premium roasted sesame seeds. Again, 4 tablespoons sesame seeds on top of the peanuts. These are actually cashews because I'm out of peanuts. Just get planters or whatever. On top of that, 2 tablespoons of white sugar. The dry-fried chicken recipe that I have also calls for about 6 ounces of various chili peppers. I can never find any of the ones that Kenji Lopez Alt lists in his recipe, so I just use Otco or Otheimco, which roughly translated means mean pepper. We're now adding approximately 8 cups or 2 quarts of peanut oil to our wok. And once it's in there, we're heating to 350 degrees. You can set everybody else aside. You won't need it yet. Okay, once you hit 350 degrees, you're going to start dropping in chicken. Carefully. Now, fun fact. Every recipe ever for this says go for pale gold. Obviously, it's going to be pale reddish gold. Should take about a minute at this stage. Sorry about the camera work, Jerkins. Okay, take your frying seriously. We want to bring this up to 400 degrees. I got a different thermometer out because my Thermapen died on me, and then I had to find batteries. I'm also going to run a quick strain through it. The fan is still broken from the dead bird incident. Draw your own conclusions. They've assured me that they will fix it soon. But they've been saying that for several episodes, which makes me worry. As we throw this in, you're going to want 45 seconds. Batches in 45-second intervals. Okay, at this point you're going to drain and clean your wok, which is a little too dangerous to do on camera. Just kidding, come on. Give it a minute to cool down before you start cleaning. Okay, put your wok on the stove, throw it on high heat, heat it until it starts to smoke. Once it starts to smoke, we're going to add 3 tablespoons of the oil that we used, and then we're going to start throwing stuff in. First, we're going to throw in our aromatics, these. Then we're going to throw in the peanuts and the chicken. Okay, it's starting to smoke. Add your oil, reduce to medium, swirl, throw on your aromatics. That includes the peppers. If you're not coughing, you're not doing it right. Throw in the chicken, as well as the peanuts, the seeds, all that stuff. Toss them around. Show them who's boss. It might be you, who knows. Now, I'm not sure this wok is big enough for a double batch, so I like to keep it in a little longer than you're supposed to. Kill the heat. Taste the nug. It has depth. I need to get more of the... Oh, there it goes. The Szechuan's hitting. There we go. Okay, so that was surprisingly good. There's kind of a complexity to it. Okay, I'm gonna plate this up. Here we go. Kentucky Chongqing Dry-Fried Chicken. Like, subscribe, click the little bell, leave a comment down below. I apologize for the length of this video if Jerkins couldn't edit it down. All hail Jerkins, thank you for editing. Okay, love you. See you next week. Bye.